Campaign trail now, where Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has unveiled his first major policy in his run for the Republican nomination for president. No surprise, with the strict policies he has passed in his own state, he is campaigning in South Texas Monday, rolling out his plan to secure the border. Jorge Ventura is live in Eagle Pass, Texas. He's been following DeSantis and his big announcement. Jorge, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Adrienne. Yes, and Governor DeSantis meeting with voters here in South Texas, hearing their concerns about just the massive influx of migrants continuing to cross illegally here into Eagle Pass. And actually, as I'm speaking to you now, we still have migrants crossing illegally just right behind us. Also, many ranchers shared stories with DeSantis about migrants breaking into the property and using their land to avoid authorities.
It's good to hear somebody that actually cares, because of the present administration right now doesn't give a flip. We're sitting out here doing nothing. I mean, every day our lives are in jeopardy.
If someone was breaking into your house, you would repel them with the use of force, right? But yet if they have drugs, these backpacks, and they're going in and they're cutting through an enforced structure, we're just supposed to let them in? You know, I say use force to repel them. If you do that one time, they will never do it again.
DeSantis calls his policies no excuses and focus on the border wall, cartels, and working with states. Here are some of those major policy changes DeSantis says that he will enact. The first one, ending birthright citizenship for illegal migrants, saying that he wants to end the idea that children of illegal aliens are entitled to citizenship if they are born in the United States. That's something that former President Donald Trump has also said as well, but DeSantis has fought back and said that he should have done that during his presidency. DeSantis also saying that he would declare Mexican drug cartels as transnational criminal organizations and authorize sanctions on cartels, its leaders, and entities known to do business with fentanyl traffickers. DeSantis also hitting Donald Trump directly on the issue of the border wall, saying that he would be the Republican president to actually finish the border wall. He says that he would also reimpose the Remain in Mexico policy for migrants who arrive at the U.S.-Mexico border claiming asylum, that they would not be allowed to enter the U.S. until their court date in a future date. Now, DeSantis also telling voters that on his first day, if elected president, he will enact an emergency. And actually right behind us, we are seeing the Florida State Troopers and Florida law enforcement working side by side with Texas DPS. These are the Florida law enforcement agents that DeSantis sent back in May here to work alongside Texas law enforcement when it comes to handling the border. But we're still witnessing those migrants crossing illegally here into Eagle Pass from Piedras Negras. Back to you guys.
Jorge, I have a question for you right now. You know, we saw that rancher or that gentleman with a cowboy hat on. I don't know what kind of job he works, but he likely owns some land there. What was the response? Obviously, there is some diversity at the border. There are people who are of Hispanic background. There are people of every nationality who are looking at these immigrants crossing over. Have you seen mixed reviews to DeSantis's proposals?
Well, some of them are what they call the some hardline policies. The one that's it is getting backlash from the Hispanic community would be ending birthright citizenship. That's one that is a pretty split reaction here. But so far, the voters here, whether Democrat or Republicans, they both actually agree that there is an issue with the border. Now, while crossings have taken a dip since Title 42 here in Eagle Pass, the past couple of days, DPS actually telling me that they're hitting back to 1,000 people crossing. And even today, right now, we're still witnessing huge groups come in and overwhelming border authorities. And actually, Adrienne, what makes Eagle Pass particularly dangerous is that they have the Rio Grande. Actually, I was here last year and I did a story on there was a certain period during the summer where they were actually averaging a drowning per day. And the local graveyard here was actually running out of room because they were burying so many deceased migrant bodies. So the community here, whether Republican or Democrat voters, they understand that this is a humanitarian crisis here.
Absolutely. And something needs to change. It's just a matter of how and when. Jorge, as always, appreciate you being there for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.